cookies.
Yeah, it's
They're very, very tasty, but I also, not directly on top of that, they're excellent. It's been a full year, it's been a full 6 years. But it's hard to imagine that it's been a year since the associate pastor left, so everything we've done kind of solo, and with the gracious help of Pastor Craig, who was filled in on those Sundays when I had not been here, and super grateful for him. Things that we haven't done that we're pleased about, and things that we celebrate. We did restart our youth group last year. We had a number of youth outings. We did a service project. We did an escape room, we did a movie night, which was great. We still have two editions of the Lord of the Rings to finish yet. We haven't gone 6 hours or 6 or 8 hours to shut those movies down. And that's been good. We did Carolyn last year, and we are now rescheduled again for this year. So not a lot of activities, but a handful of activities for the youth, and we're excited about that. The youth are going to Carolyn again. We're going to have a progressive dinner, about which the youth are over the roof. The other youth, kind of half youth activity this year was we did do the mission trip to Latvia in July, and this is the first time we brought youth along. Usually it's adults who go to teach and lead. And yet we had two young people who had heard of this trip from, I always use Blake as my poster child, and I'm not as a sort of exactly right. But when we came back in 2018, we had the Latvian luncheon, and Blake was like 10 years old. And he said, "Oh, Pastor Vic, can I go? Can I go?" And I said, and then Jenny said, "Well, my kids really want to go." And I said, "Yeah, we teach kids who are 10 years old, so probably not till, they're, 15, 16, 17, 18. And he came to me this summer and said, "Oh, I really want to go." So I asked permission, and they said, "Yeah, it's mature enough." And I said, "Well, it's not a play." No, that's not what I said. You know what I said. I said he's a fine man, he's a very mature young man. Blake and Emma went this summer. Emma's a senior in high school. Blake just finished his freshman year. And so we had a wonderful mission trip to Latvia this past year. That was sort of our youth summer activity. So that was exciting. And if you attended the newsletter or anything, you know that we're queued up again for the Latvian mission, which are really positive things. Other areas of mission and ministry where we struggle. We're struggling with volunteers. I'm grateful for Jen, who has kind of arranged and to make sure coffee happens. We have a couple of people who come early to make coffee, a couple of people who stay late and clean up after, but not really enough. Same with ushers. I'm so grateful for Ken Schutte, who took on that mantle about a year and a half ago. And I think he's in the same boat that I am. He has some ushers, but not nearly as many. And you need to sign up. One of the issues with regards to ushers is because they're going back to the welfare community. And my answer, and the elders have talked about this every Sunday or every once a month for the last 9 months, which is we cannot go back to the welfare community until we have ushers at every service, because we can't switch back and forth, and we can't do that without people guiding, helping, leading. And so I'm not going to send people up and down stairs without ushers. And so if wanting to have communion at the rail is important to you, I would certainly encourage and invite you to volunteer for ushering. But other things, we have a wonderful staff. I'm grateful for Diane in the church office. We have Rainey who helps out. Crystal's doing a super job overseeing our preschool, and we have just an amazing preschool staff right now. God is so good to us, and that ministry is just an amazing thing that we do every day here at Concordia. So we're grateful for sort of the de facto facilities group. Same thing, Larry Schultz is the treasurer, but somehow he's ended up as the kind of property chair, and he and a group of volunteers. Many of you are here today. Basically renovating the whole downstairs. We got new floors, new ceilings, new lights, new bathrooms, new appliances. And so a lot of that was under the direction of Larry, with the help of Scott. And I can name all of you. I know who you are, and I know you were there. I saw you. So thanks to them. But we do not have. Having said that, with Larry's generosity, his time, and his skills, we still don't have a property check. And so those kinds of things are areas where we struggle in Concordia. This is not unique to Concordia. I wish we were a standout, but many churches of our age and size struggle in this realm. I'm grateful for the new board of directors. I think that has streamlined some of that. Maybe we still have new policies to write and lacking volunteers. I mean, as staff for these kinds of things that we need done here. And so those are all things that are kind of in the works. And then we continue to make sure church happens here every Sunday, that school happens here every day, and God's word is being done. So we did youth, we did mission. The elders, I don't want to sit on the elders, but we certainly all companies worked and struggled over the last year to both define names and find pastors who are able or willing to come and consider a call here at Concordia. That's something we're still trying to figure out. We'll hear more about that later. As you all know, I don't know how to say this humbly, but I was elected district president 6 years ago, and they wanted me to do it 3 years ago, so I did it for 3 more, and they kind of want me to do it again. And I'm going to talk about that here in a minute. And when I go to these meetings in St. Louis, they invite me to do more stuff, because apparently I do okay. This last week, we had a worker wellness. It was the whole Office of National Mission met with all the mission leaders from all the districts, all the stewardship leaders from all the districts, and some of the youth people from all the districts, all met in St. Louis. And we had a panel on worker wellness. And Pastor Vinovskis, could you please be on the panel? And so I was on this panel and talking about worker wellness in the SLC, worker wellness in all the districts. And while it's an honor and a blessing, it's one more thing I'm responsible for in the Synod. And so, I'm the mayor, she's bad at stuff. And they won't ask me to do it anymore. But it's been a challenge, and obviously what toll it takes on Concordia. Again, I'm grateful for Pastor Kreff to fill in a few Sundays, and they've been gone. I haven't counted, but Larry and I had a conversation with Ed, so I think it's less than 10. Out of all the Sundays of the year, there are a couple I missed this summer, a couple I missed this fall, and maybe a few in the spring. But 10 out of 52, I'm doing the best I can to be here. Area, pastoral care is struggling right now. I'm kind of lean on the elders to do my helpers with that. When I'm in town, and I try to get out and make visits, and some of you I've seen, some of you I've seen, and frankly, some of you I haven't. And I confess that, and I apologize. And those are things that we need to talk about, how elders can step up, and other volunteers can do the right. Having said that, all the services from now through Epiphany are mostly planned, and so church has been happening. Grateful for that. Grateful for the AV techs, the Teleniacs, the Riggins, Sam Reeves, who've been doing the AV stuff. There are a lot of people who watch, and you go and look at the clicks and the links, in the YouTube. People are watching, they pay attention. Same with our Facebook page. A lot of people watching, but I'm grateful for that. I'm happy to entertain any questions, and then I've got a closing statement. All right, so my closing statement is this, is that in 2017, when I was nominated to be district president, I let my name stand because I believe that if we got help, if I got district president, then we would get help here at Concordia. And that would help our congregation. We struggled with that for a couple of years for a number of reasons. And then finally in 21, after 3 years of me being district president, we got the associate pastor, who was also a part-time chaplain, and he was also gone a fair amount of time. And then since 23, I've kind of done this on my own. I know that people are bothered by that, and so my name is up for election again, and our convention is at the end of January. And I'll say now that I'm willing to let my name stand if that would be helpful to Concordia, if we can get some help here and continue the ministry. If my serving in the district is harmful to this congregation, I would apply that nomination at your request. And so that's something you can talk to me about privately, or you can talk with yourselves. say to the elders, they're not shy. They'll say it to me. If I need to not do this anymore, I will not do it anymore. The final thing I want to say is it brought to my attention at least 2 times in the last couple of weeks that somehow the district is taking advantage of employees. And this really kind of weighs on me. I wrestle with that. Like somehow the district is wronging this congregation. And I'll just say this, that this congregation was founded in 1987. And the Lutheran Church Reserve Synod had a big fundraiser called Forward in Remembrance. And the Synod gave to this congregation through Concordia Bethlehem about $70,000 or $80,000 so we could buy this property. Along with that, the mother church, Concordia Bethlehem, paid the pastor's salary for a decade after that congregation was founded, and Concordia paid what it could. And then in 1998, we did Your Congregation's Future, and they decided they needed more help. So they went to the district and they said, we need $10,000 for a vicar. And the district said, no, we're not going to do $10,000. We're going to do $90,000, call a pastor. And I came here and my salary was paid for the first 3 years by the district. And the mother church, in all those years, from 1987 to 2003, when we kind of cut the apron strings, underwrote all of the work for this congregation. Paid for the secretary, paid for the copy machine, paid for Pastor Now to drive back and forth, paid for the furniture and the efforts, the volunteers who built all of this. And so the notion that this congregation exists because the synod and the district and the mother church underwrote the whole thing for that little group of 12 or 25 or 40 people. And so in response to that, in 2017, my name was put up for district president. And I'll say, yeah, we'll get back. And I've said this 100 times. Ministry costs. Ministry is a sacrifice. It costs your time, it costs your energy, it costs your money. And I'll say this, for the last 6 years, it has been a personal sacrifice for me. It has cost me the time and my energy and my money to do both of these jobs at the same time. Along with me, Concordia has made that same sacrifice. It has cost you time, it has cost you energy, and it has cost you money for me to be the district president. And if this is going to go forward, you all have to be okay with that. Okay? And if you're not, I can step away. Okay? And I just need to say that because the district and the synod has been very generous to this congregation, as have the people of Concordia Bethlehem, who loved and nurtured this mission a long time ago. And for us to be able to give some of that back to them is a blessing, a service to Christ's church. So anyway, peace be with you. They're on.